Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
I can't tell you. I don't think I have any evidence for that.
Of course I can't.
Of course?
Can the antics right?
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. I have to agree, Mr. Wright. At least pretend that you think you might know.
Note to self. Think before speaking. Tough crowd.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I guess I can.
Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was?
I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then.
This would be the only thing that I really have. So we're gonna go with that.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me puke because it's a murder scene and it's a dead body.
Look at this photo.
What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about?
This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios.
What does this have to do with the current case?
Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest?
What are you saying?
Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again.
Go! Mr. Wright, continue.
It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss Diva Squeeze meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. With her pipe that definitely looks normal, now that I'm reflecting. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say.
In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? 5 years ago.
Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Ho ho. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? And returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body?
The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body?
She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance... Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Boop!
Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it.
Pickle.
Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate's costume.
Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator?
Of course he was. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win?
Pickle?
So, what happens next? Don't me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer?
I am really worried right now that my recording has failed.
Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits.
Yes, it's still recording! Thank God it's still fucking recording. Okay.
We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle? You proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. In the result of that battle? You proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What?
Pickle?
Order! I'm pretty pickled myself. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it. But, there's no proof.
Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again? I'd like you to testify again.
Testify again?
Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far, only to fail.
Hey, if you're getting Mr. Powers off, and he's, like, proven innocent, is it really a fail? It's not like he goes to jail because Dee Vasquez isn't willing to admit that she actually murdered someone.
As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't.
I see. Very well.
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again.
You are the prosecutor. Are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness.
I just want to hear your testimony again.
Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I, too, see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly do you want her to testify about?
Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say. Ergo, I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
Is it really going to be that? I actually can't remember what the thing I'm picking out of this is. I think it might be the script and director's notes.
I see. No issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need to and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right.
This might be one of those you have to go through everything things, but I'm going to start at the end. This.
The script in your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess.
Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue.
Your Honor, Phoenix. I have an objection to the witness's last statement.
Huh?
Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One.
Pickle! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. That the defense probably should have made. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense?
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation?
I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me.
Sal, the director.
You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him.
I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The system was there too. The only powers is absent. Alright, so it's gotta be something in that statement. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Maybe the hammer was injured and couldn't do any action, so I left behind.
What time was that? We were to meet at... Oh, I need to... Alright, so this is a time thing, I think. We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you.
Press harder.
Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy.
Boy.
The witness will continue her testimony.
The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did no one go to call him?
Remember,
Remember what?
there was a dead body lying in front of us. Yet you expect me to be calm?
You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Why wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around.
You discovered a murdered body, and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person?
I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez?
Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing.
Poor Powers.
Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue.
I immediately called the police and Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time?
No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene.
Sorry, I'm late.
Then silence. Dead silence.
Urkel?
Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up.
Security lead Old Bag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Old Bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it?
She said because she saw him going toward the studio.
Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word?
Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact.
That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera.
She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer.
I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out?
Yes. Seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing.
But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us.
Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. I'm going to press that again. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't... No, I guess not. Press harder again. Wait a second, I thought you came just to do a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Objection. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Think Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. But then she just switches it up to be like, that's not what I said. I didn't know. Now I don't know. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. What have you just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why are you switching signs. I appreciate the concern. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Mr. Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is encouraged to the defense. What kind of court does it matter? I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason. It's not a misunderstanding. You literally said, why would there be rehearsal if there was a murder? And now you're just changing it to, very well, the witness will change her testimony. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Press. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on. Everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick, so go get him.
How does it not contradict that? It totally does, though. She wouldn't have been able to go back to the trailer. That was her whole argument for why she was unable to be at fucking Studio 2 or Studio 1 to begin with. There's actually a couple pieces of evidence that, like, aren't in my thing that totally apply to this. Like, the fact that her notes and her direction notes and script were in Studio 1.